Toys and Game, Comic Collector, and Festival. Welcome to the top 10 highest CGC comic books sold on eBay, April 12th to 18th. Coming number 10, we have X-Men issue 1. This one came in 1963, grade CGC 6.5. It sold for $6,500 and some $50.57 for shipping. Sounds really cheap though. Look right here. The seller is still positive and still feedback, so you gotta be careful when you buy something like this on eBay. So let's go ahead and take a look at Heritage. Heritage, we have 6.5 right here, and then this book sold as high as 45,600. So that's a drop of 39,100. This is back in September 2021, and then let's go one on the right. One sold for 43,200. This is back in October 2021. And then let's do one more. We got one sold for 37,200 back in January 2022. Coming number 9, Captain America Comics, issue 74, classic red skull cover, horror. This is produced by Tommy. This came out in 1949. Grade CC 3.0. Final auction price was $8,988 with 61 bits. So let's go over to Heritage. With Heritage, we have 3.0 right here. And then this book sold size $6,360. So that's an increase of $2,628. This is back in January 2020. And then we have one on the right, so for $5,640 back in November 2019. And then we have one, so for $3,585 back in May 2015. Come number 8, Amazing Fantasy 15s, grade CC 1.5. This one came out September 1962. Final auction price $9,608 with only 3 bits. And then you do have to pay $65 delivery. Seems kind of cheap though for 1.5 right here, but you look over here, 100% positive feedback and 10 feedback there. But this is a pretty good deal though. You get it for less than $10,000 for 1.5 there. So let's go ahead and take a look right here. Right here, let's go here. We have a 1.5 right here, and this book sold high 22,800. So that's a drop of $13,192. This is back in February 2022, and then we have one on the right, so for $21,840 back in June of 2024 right here. Coming number 7, Amazing Spider-Man issue 50. This one came in 1967. Grade CC 9.2 for Kingpin Origin Retail. The asking price was $12,000, but it's actually sold for $10,000. So let's go over to Gold Collect. Gold Collect, we have 9.2 right here. And then this book sold high $12,166. So that's a decrease of $2,166. According to Gold Collect, fair market value $9,250. And this was the one that was just sold on eBay, $10,000. And the low during the 1 year is $7,875. Let's go over here. The one that sold for $12,166 was back in August of 2021. Coming number 6, we have a combo deal. This is Ghost Rider issue number 1, grade CG 9.8. And also you got Heal for High issue 1, CG 9.6. And asking and sold price was $10,100. It was a new listing, and someone thought it was a great deal and snatched it up really quick. So let's go ahead and take a look at this book. Here are Ghost Rider 9.8 right here. Heal for Higher 9.6. And then this is more of the 9.8, got the white pages right here. And then this is the, unfortunately, only just one. They did not have the up close of the 9.6 there. Coming number 5, All-Star Comics, issue 8, grade CZ 0.5, white pages. First appearance on Wonder Woman. Asking price was $15,000. Was actually sold for $11,000. Let's go over to Heritage. I couldn't find one that's graded 0.5, but I thought I would do something different. I thought I would check how much high grade also comic sells for. And we have one sold for, actually this is a 9.4, and we have one sold for $1.62 million back in June of 2022. That was still during the COVID time. And then we have there 9.4, sold for $1.5 million, January 2024. And then we have another 9.4, sold for $1.342 million back in February 2026. Coming up for Detective Comics issue 140, Origin first appearance of Riddler. This is a Golden Age book. I also have Batman and Robin on the cover. This one came in 1948, grade CZ 4.0. Final auction price was $11,100 with 62 bids. So let's go over to Go Collect. Go Collect, we have 4.0 right here. And then this book sold high 15,600. So that's a drop of 4,500. That's the one that we just sold on eBay, is not listed yet. According to Go Collect, it's only the fair market value is $8,750 there. And then let's go over here. And the one that sold for $15,600 was back in April 2022. Coming number 3, Amazing Spider-Man issue 1. This is grade CZ 7.5, December 1963. This is a restore copy here because it's a purple label, and this is also an old label too. And it's sold for a good chunk of money, $11,375. And let's take a look at this book right here. So this a pen 7.5. Restoration includes card touch, tear seals, clean, reinforced, and regloss. Okay, so let's take a look at the Heritage. And then over Heritage, I did see one that have an old label and also restore. And this one sold for $4,541. So that's an increase of $6,834. This was back in February 2016 there. Coming number 2, Amazing Spider-Man issue 1. This one came in 1963. This one got the Stan Lee signature and also the Stan Lee logo right there. This one have an asking price of $13,000, but it's actually sold for $12,150. So let's go over to Go Collect. Go Collect, we have a 4.0 right here. And then this, unfortunately, not too many data right here. It's all the same number. And then let's go over to this chart. And then let's see, this is one that much is sold on eBay. And then we have one sold for $16,000 June of 2024. And then let's go down here, one for, oh wow, 5,100. And then let's go back up here, and this we have the highest one, so for 17,100. So that is a drop of $4,950. And then before that, we'll have one so for 11,100. The number 1 book for this week, X-Men issue 1, grade C 5.0. This one came in 1963. Obviously, you know the X-Men movie is coming soon. It's still in pre-development. The asking price was $12,858, but it's actually sold for $12,250. So let's go over to Heritage. Over Heritage, we have 5.0 right here. This book sold high $26,400. So that's a decrease of $14,150. This is back in June 2022. And then now we have one sold for $26,400 also, back in October 2021. And then let's do one more. One sold for $25,200 back in January 2022. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the content. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.